Flexx Luther, mortgage nigga room. So much soul about to bust out the room. All different flavors, way more than 32. From these shoes, you can't mess with these dudes. Nike Reeboks, about Saucony. Golden Goose is on dude.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flexx Luther, and none other than Mortgage Nigga Room. What's up? What's new? And how you feeling, my guy?
Doing good. Yeah, leave for our honeymoon tomorrow, so
Sir,
everything's great.
I like it. I like it. Happy wife, happy life.
Yep.
What pair are you taking?
See, we're going to the Grand Tetons.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly. Like, I know Caitlin said, bring a pair that you can get dirty. And so I've been teaching in the extra butters.
I knew.
I've been teaching in those all summer, man.
I knew that was going to. I couldn't think of the model, but I was like, we're going to do the 1809, and I forgot what it was 891. What is it called? What's the model?
Cascadia 18.
Yeah, Cascadia 18.
And then when I went to Savannah, I just brought a pair of like Asics, like gel 1130, something like that. So I might be on the same type of timing for this upcoming trip. Because Caitlin knows if I get a pair of shoes dirty, I'm gonna ruin the trip.
Yeah,
I'll ruin the trip.
I take something durable. That's why I don't like getting my Omni 9s dirty, but they're very durable. So like when I went out of the country, when I went to El Salvador, I definitely took my Omnis, Fighter Jets, and I think my Black Cement 3s is what I.
Black Cement 3s. That's another pair I could take with me. I think would be a good pair to take.
You can dust it up and wipe it off when you get back to the crib. But let's get into what we wore today.
I'm gonna let you go first, man, because the people already know what I wore today.
What I went with was the Cherry Blossom 9060. New Balance. There has been a lot of talk about the 9060s and whether it's a good shoe, if it's a bad shoe. There's been a lot of discord on Twitter about, people kind of stepping back and dipping on the 9060, calling it a terrible shoe just in general. Honestly, it's one of the first shoes, not going to say one of the first shoes, but one of the few shoes from New Balance that I like. But I feel like that's because I'm not the common consumer of New Balance. I feel like if I was an earlier collector of New Balance, would have been like, no, bro, you can have that. Because this is definitely out of the norm for New Balance. And that's why I know I like it, because it's out of the norm. It's not what they usually produce or what they usually give us. So I can understand like someone that wears a lot of New Balance being like, yeah, 960s has got to go. It's kind of like when you get a Fusion or a Team Jordan, it's like, nah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the 960s.
So I am a huge New Balance guy, right?
Yep.
And the 9060, while I'm not a fan of the shoe, like I'm not a huge fan of the shoe, I don't think it's terrible. Right? Like, and I know people brought up the Bricks and Wood pair and the Joe Freshgoods pairs. And I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see it being a terrible shoe. It's not a normal New Balance. It's not a New Balance that like is super hype over. Like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the 9060 or whatever. But like, it's just another shoe that is going to introduce more people to New Balance, and maybe the 9060 gets somebody to buy a 997 or you know what I mean, like something like that. So
I'm still looking for me a good pair, a good 990 V6. Looking for a good pair though. I really like that 990. I really like that 990 V6. But yeah, I think a really good pair you might like. Action Bronson pair. I've been looking
at the first one.
No, that GR they just dropped. It was a 990 V6.
Did they?
What is it? It's a red pair. It's the red pair. I want to say
It's not the Community Red, is it? What was Community Red?
Yeah. Is that it?
Oh, Community Red. Yeah, the one that you sent me.
Yeah. I like that one. Now it's kind of moving away from a GR because of when we first seen it, they had like this most generic name for it. It's like Molten Red or something like that. Now it's like the Community Red. Was it made in US? Is it made in US?
Yeah, made in USA.
Yeah, it's like it was. And those usually GRs? I mean, I know it's a GR, but like, how can I explain it? I feel like the made in US is kind of this own inline type deal thing.
So, how do I explain this? So, the different models, like 99X, so like 999, 998, 997, right? 990, those are usually made in the United States. And so that's all that means. That's like, this is the type of craftsmanship to expect on a made in the USA pair, right? Whereas the 1500, 1600, those are generally made in
Vietnam?
No, well, not even outsourced. The United States 991. That's a pair that's made in the United Kingdom. Golly, bro, 7 hours straight, bro, dehydrated. Like, I gotta tell Caitlin, I didn't drink my water today. I forgot it in my car. She's so disappointed. But the 991 usually made in the UK. So there's like the made in the UK line, which is in Flimby. The made in the USA line, and then there's just the rest of them. There's the usually made in like Vietnam or something like that. So, and you can expect
we gotta get you access to the Twitter account, but I just gotta make sure I gotta clear all the things that you post.
Bro, I used to do the tennis Twitter, man. Like I wasn't talking crazy about other teams, bro.
That's your job.
I just kind of stopped doing it.
that's your job, but
yeah.
Nah, but I think that would be a very interesting because I feel like Twitter is a space where you can kind of post something and it's kind of like, hey, y'all remember these? Kyrie, shout out Kyrie, he posted the
bottle rockets.
Yeah, I was like, yo, it's crazy because Morgan just pulled those out, and I'm like, that bag is deep when it comes to your collection as far as the A6 New Balance.
Thank you.
And I feel like that's what's becoming let's talk about it,
yeah.
We might even strike a deal with Matthew Welty. Might strike a deal to
Matt Welty?
Yeah.
I like Matt Welty, man. I mean, I get a lot of. I mean, he knows he was an Adidas guy, but I think he was like an everything guy. Him and Brendan Dunn are the like everything guys. So yeah, for sure. I mean, if I had the energy, bro, like I want people so badly. I want people so badly to like understand and appreciate the history of like Saucony, Asics, New Balance, like Diadora, like the runners. Because that's what's becoming cool now. Like, all right, boom, y'all can wear them, bro. Like, I'm not gonna gatekeep them or anything like that. Like, wear them, but gotta understand, like, if you're gonna participate, man, like you gotta participate. You can't just stall line. Like that's just how I feel, and it's not of a spot again. Like I'm not trying to gatekeep, but what I'm trying to do is like make it more enjoyable for the wearer, right?
Yeah,
like
no.
I'm gonna like if I ask you when you started wearing Sauconys, do you feel like it was more enjoyable knowing the backstory of the shoes that you were putting on?
Yeah.
Understanding the history of Saucony and stuff like that, and like how the connections were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I definitely didn't know that logo was, what'd you say it was?
The rivers.
River? Yeah.
The Saucony River.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what that's where that comes from. I did not know that. So
the Saucony River in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, has got 3 boulders in the middle of the river, and then that's what turned into the Saucony, the Rivers logo.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why we're gonna work something out, guys. So definitely stay tuned. Morgan is we're gonna use his collection and use my determination. And
hey, my collection and your determination, bro. Like that's a powerful combination, bro. That's Shaq and Kobe.
And then they're gonna be like, well, where your Jordans at? That's where I come in at. Where your Nikes at?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Whoa, calm down. I know.
Almost crashed out, bro.
Almost, I see that.
Almost knocked the tripod over.
Calm down. I know you have some Jordans in there, but my Jordan bag is deeper than yours. It is.
Mine's better than yours, though. You're quantity over quality.
Not even close, bro.
I don't think you know. I mean, okay, bro. Here we go. All right.
Pick a silhouette.
All right, here we go. Ben 7s. All right, bro. All right, everybody. He got the Ben 7s, bro. He got the Ben 7s. All right, we got that out the way.
Pick a silhouette. Pick a silhouette. Pick a Jordan silhouette. We go.
For what?
Hey, whatever you feel you have the best colorways in, or the best Jordan, your best Jordans. Pick your best Jordans, and I'll pick my best Jordans, and we do it like that. You're not, no, sir.
I almost said 11s because I got like the 2011.
You already.
I remember. I know. I didn't say 11. I didn't say 11s. Yeah.
You can pick any silhouette, bro.
No, it's okay. No, it's all right.
Any silhouette. 4s, 3s, 2s.
Okay.
You can pick 2. You can pick 1.
I don't have any 2s anymore.
You can pick exactly. That's what I'm telling you. My Jordan bag is deeper than yours.
My ones might be. My ones might be better than yours.
Yeah. What you got? Breads from 2013?
Breads.
Get out of here.
Breads. I got the Royals from 2016. Shadows.
Oh,
I got.
What is that?
The Royals.
I got the Shadows. I don't have the Royals. I do have the
Red
Shadows.
Toes.
No bread toes.
Dang, no bread toes. Black toes.
I don't.
Dang, no black toes.
Though.
Huh?
Now, the unions
didn't even hear what you said. I'm gonna skip past that because I can't hear you. I even got. Oh, bro. See, hey, I got the Chicago's. I got those courtesy of Japan. Not courtesy of Japan.
Okay, I got you.
Kodak JPs. Mm-hmm. Those are terrible. I don't know why I got those.
Because it came with suitcase.
No, not the ones I got. No, the ones in 2000.
You got a retro.
I got the retro.
I still feel like I could give you a solid 5. It's kind of like, okay, I get why he pulled those out. Mm-hmm. But you still not messing with my Jordan bag.
Biohacks.
No, I don't want those. You're not fooling with my Jordan bag.
Yeah.
I'm close to saying my Nike bag too, but I know you got some heavy hitters over there.
I got some heavy hitters over here for sure.
But I got the pennies and I got the schoolers over here. So
you got any up tempo 95s?
Up down.
You got any of the up tempo 95s?
I don't. I do have a pair of the up tempos, but not I don't believe it's the 95s. The 95s are what we just seen released, right? They just recently, yeah. Yep. Those those are the ones that actually the pimping ones, right?
The what?
Those are ones that's actually pimping's. Which one?
He played in those. He did play in the up. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
My Nike bag is pretty deep, bro. It is.
But I got SBs too.
You got what?
I got SBs too. So.
Yeah, you got SBs. I got SBs.
Yeah, but nah, you ain't messing with mine, bro. My nah.
What you got?
I have one of the undefeated collaborations that we haven't seen in years. Then I have the Powerpuff. Which one is it?
The green pair, the Buttercups.
No, I have the blue pair.
What pair you got from Poison?
Blue pair.
Oh, okay.
And then I have the De La Solos.
Got them.
Then I have the Street Hawkers. And I have the Sheep and Wolf clothing. And then I have one more. What is my other SB dog?
So I got Pink Pigs. I got De La Sols.
Which Pink Pigs for you?
Not the When Pigs Fly.
They don't matter.
Not the Concepts Fair.
Don't matter. So.
Turduncan. You got Turduncans.
Hey, that box though. That box.
I don't have that box.
Oh man, get rid of that pair, bro.
I got the Stingwaters.
Anyways, we not messing. You take care of the runners, and I take care of the
fine, whatever. Whatever.
But you guys will be seeing that. So Morgan will be more active within the Twitter account because there's some stuff that I know you got in there that people really don't know about, or one of those what they call it, deep cuts. So yeah, watch out. Stay tuned for that. But in other news, we're speaking live. We just seen Westside Gunn preview one of his collaborations. I won't say one of them because we've seen multiple. We've seen him in the Triumph Pro Grid 4, and then he just showed us the Jazz 9 in that all red colorway with those wax laces and that scorpion on the side and that Griselda insole. I'm a fan. Now, I was unsure about the Pro Grid Triumph 4, but this Jazz 9, Jason, this Jazz 9.
Oh Lord! I just looked it up.
Send me the invoice. You know.
Yeah, Jason.
I got my account number and route number ready. Just let me know. You can withdraw from the account if you need to.
No, those are rawhide laces.
Oh, okay.
Rawhide laces. Yeah. The scorpion on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, these go crazy.
Those, yes. See, now what I love about that is it's an all red shoe, but it's different materials and different patterns. That's what I like. Like, I can do that. I like that.
There's quilted. There's like looks like there's some patent leather.
Did you see a scorpion on the side?
Yeah, the scorpion's crazy.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Again, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Saucony has been keeping me excited this year. Of course, I'm loving what Jordan's doing and Nike, what they're doing, giving us those classic colorways and silhouettes. But this is what you're like. Oh, wait a minute. You know. So
I'm noticing one of them's got a quilted underlay, and one of them's got a mesh underlay.
So I'm hoping we get the quilt. I do like too. That quilt. I like that quilt one. So I'm.
Oh wait, one of them's got both.
But you know what though? I don't know who I gotta talk to, but I know samples come in a size 9. If y'all guys didn't know,
I see.
Whenever shoes are sampled, they always. Well, I ain't gonna say that always, but most of the time it's size 9. You know, like I said, I'm looking forward to those. The Westside Gunn Jazz 9, whichever pair they go with. If you know, I would like to get a sample too. I don't know.
If any of our friends over at Saucony need anybody to take them,
your samples don't come in at 10.5. Sorry,
I don't need a sample, bro. I just need a pair.
I want a sample. I want a sample. I want to pull up in September with something nobody ain't got. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. For somebody who was talking a lot, I mean, if Saucony wants to go back into your history of videos,
here you go.
You said a lot of things about Saucony. I mean, I don't know if you deserve a sample or not.
What we talking about last episode? Can't people change? You know, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, they can, but right,
yeah, you know.
But there's also got to be repercussions for the past.
I started late. That's all. that's the repercussion. I started late. Now I'm in there.
Yeah, that's is definitely that is a fire shoe. I was expecting the multicolored pair. And I mean, I'm sure we'll still get that.
That's the one I'm unsure about. I'm just unsure about that one. I got to see that one. I really got to see that one. Like, just on the own feet from what he's showed. And he's did I think he did show one in hand, but it was different from the first one we seen. So I need to see what we're getting. I need to see what we're getting so I can make my final decision, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Open-minded. I know better now. I'm not going to speak down on it because then I'll see it and be like, yo, got to have them, you know.
And then I'm going to say, wait a minute. Didn't you say?
But yeah, I mean, the Paris week has been very, like I said, it's been, I think I said it wasn't very eventful, but the more we watch, the more we see. Jellyfishes have moved up to 350. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Rumor 350.
So I was listening to our last episode, and I believe you said nobody's paying $300 for an Adidas.
I know.
Okay.
And I thought about all the $300 pair of shoes that came out with Kanye and went crazy. I know. I thought that.
Not to mention the Gucci's, like the Gucci collabs and stuff like that.
And I think the Wave Runners came out.
The Wave Runners were 300.
Wasn't it 3 plus? Or was it just
could have been? Could have been 3 plus.
Yeah, I mean.
So like, and I didn't catch it while we were recording.
Oh, I know you did.
Then when I heard it, you know, listening to it again, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute."
yeah. I was going to take it out, but then I was like, the conversation wouldn't make sense without it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta bite my bullet. Speaking of yapping, conversations have been had about sneaker podcasts.
From who?
Media, social media, just, me checking all the spaces, checking all the corners of the social media sneaker multiverse. Currently, how are you feeling about sneaker podcasts? Currently, right now, what would be the one thing you would say about sneaker podcasts right now?
I think it's great. If people feel like there are too many, I mean, people have different opinions on sneakers. Like, you know, if you guys want to hear, I don't know, like, people have, like, it doesn't feel like everybody's doing the same thing. Like, everybody's bringing a different flavor to sneakers, right? Like, so too many, I don't know. Like, and then again, I'm also not worried about, like,
other
listener
podcasts.
Shares, and I'm not, worried about, like, well, we got to get those listeners over here. Like, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about talking about sneakers. So yeah, that is interesting. Is it podcasters who are saying that there are too many podcasts?
So, well,
I've heard that.
To be honest, I can't really give you an individual. It's kind of just been like a topic of discussion. And when we started talking about it where I was listening, I'm gonna say we, because I didn't really partake as far as a speaker in the last Twitter space I was in. I was just listening, and I came in right at the butt end of, like, the conversation. So I don't really know what the issue was, but I do know the topic was, just oversaturation from, like, podcasts and, like, how people are moving when they have these podcasts. Like, and me personally, there are a lot of great sneaker podcasts that would be great podcasts. And I say that as, like, a lot of these podcasts, like, when they pivot to the sneaker portion, it's not that well. You know what I'm saying? But as a podcast to listen to, it's like you might have something there. And I mean, that would be my only, as a schooler could say, that'd be the only thing that really burns my grits. A lot of podcasts are not really sneaker podcasts. It's just kind of like you're podcasting, you're just in front of the mic, you're talking. And I mean, I guess that would be really more of a personal opinion, because I'm pretty sure there's people that's like, man, all y'all do is talk about y'all opinions on shoes, rather than, like, giving. Well, nah, I ain't gonna say that, because we give backstories, because I know there's at least there's one history lesson in here for me every episode. So because either I say something wrong or I just don't know about it, and and I know I'm not the only person that don't know, or there might be something that you don't know. There's rarely, I'm gonna be honest, rarely. But there are some things that you don't know, and I'm kind of like, yeah, you didn't know that. So, yeah. I mean, I think I appreciate it, because I listen to all podcasts. And Kicks We Trust.
Shout out in Kicks We Trust. A takeover episode should be fun.
It should be. My First Kicks. Sneaker History. Sneaky Leak. Loose Laces. And Complex Sneakers, just to name a few. I haven't really had a chance to listen to Sneaker Diss or Sneak Diss. Sneak Diss? Yeah. I hear a lot of conversations about their podcast. So I gotta tap in and see what's going on over there. But
is that the one that
But overall, like, I don't really have an issue with it. I mean, there are some things that go that are a little weird, which I guess we kind of speak on that too. Arab Lincoln went over to Flexx podcast, and they had some conversations. I'm not going to give too much airtime to that because I rather
all he does is take pictures, bro. AD Smith, he's not trying to mess with nobody, man. He's just trying to take pictures and keep it moving.
And what I'm going to give more airtime to is 80 Sneaks. From me, from my personal, I didn't see 80 Sneaks speak on it or anything. He took it upon himself. He made a post. He tagged every known photographer within sneakers, and like, hey, this is what I like about, this is what you've done. This is what I like about it. You know what I'm saying? Rather than kind of going back and like, there is no beef or there is a beef. There, you're like, now what? I'm gonna shout everybody out. Like, this is what it is, and this is what it ain't. And that's not what he said. But that's what I got from his actions. And like, I recently DM'd him, like, bro, I really commend you for what you're doing. Like, that's how you move. You know what I'm saying? Rather than, tagging up, you're doing the subliminals or, just doing something petty,
Yeah.
You was like, you know what? I appreciate you and I appreciate what you've done. I acknowledge that you've done this and and he didn't really speak on what was said on the podcast. And I was like, you know what? That's what we need more of. Because
I think we need less of going and talking about if you have an issue with somebody. Just going to a podcast and airing it out there.
Okay.
So like maybe we can have more, more of what 80 Sneaks did, but let's have less of what Arab Lincoln did.
All right. Well,
80 Sneaks not messing with nobody, bro. What's his name?
Yeah, but. Yeah, but like now you're creating negative energy between us and him, and that's what I'm trying to steer away from.
Who is he?
He's a photographer just like 80 Sneak. He takes pictures of sneakers, Not
So what's his issue with 80 Sneaks?
Apparently, he feels that he created like the whole. So there's been this whole thing about the laces. You know how 80 Sneaks plays with the laces?
Yeah, he does the laces. Yeah.
Apparently, Arab Lincoln started that first, but 80 Sneaks took off with it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, this was mine, and you're not showing any love. You do blah blah blah, and you get these opportunities, and Complex shouted 80 Sneaks out like, hey, you really changing photography and sneakers when he's kind of like, well, you use my MO, you use my you stole my stilo, and so it is.
That's fair. That is fair.
It is what it is.
I think that's fair. So I take back what I said. I think that Arab Lincoln has, I feel like that's a gripeable offense.
Yeah. But I appreciate how it was handled by 80 Sneaks.
I agree.
I appreciate how he handled that. Kind of made me feel some type of way about our last episode. But I don't feel like I was talking down on anyone. I just kind of just spoke how I felt about the whole interaction. It really wasn't, well, I'm just saying, Yeah.
But
I don't really have anything. I don't really have anything against Sneaker Podcast. I don't, and if there was 3 more that decided to drop tomorrow, it wouldn't. To me, I like it. It's more competition. It's more of like, let's see who can survive. Let's see who's gonna really survive the drought, because there's gonna be a drought. There's gonna be, I mean, there may be a lot of listeners, but there's only so many guests you can have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody ain't gonna be able to interview Beamer.
But you also gotta have your own knowledge, like aside from the guests. If you don't know about sneakers, man, like people know that. Like after an episode, I don't want to put too much out there, put anybody on blast, but I got a DM from somebody and they said, yo, like, it was great. Like, just now finding you guys, like, love the knowledge you have. And it was kind of disparaging towards somebody else, right? Like, just because they don't have the same knowledge that we do and passion for sneakers, I guess they kind of feel that they're kind of faking it, or like just kind of hopping on, like we've talked about, like hopping on to the wave. But you know, the people who are listening, like, they know the difference between who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't.
I've had people, hit me up and like, you know what, I actually enjoy you guys solo episodes more than I do when you have guests on. Like, it's a nice thing that y'all do that. Like, it's good episodes, but like, it's the same as if y'all have a solo episode. Like, I enjoy it just as the same,
Yeah.
Which, I try to keep that same. I try to keep that energy. Like, our podcast is not a guest focused podcast.
Right.
Our focus is like, when we have a guest on it, like, I don't even shoot for like the big names, not saying the people that we had on are not big names. It's more of like, you may not know the person that we have on.
Right.
And that's all right. Like, what I'm trying to do is amplify this person. I want you to know about this person. I want you to know what this person is doing or what this person has done, And I mean, there's times that we have people on here, 20,000 followers, and like, there's people that listen to us but don't know who this person is. You know what I'm saying? And it could be vice versa. People that follow this person, like, I don't know who they are, but now I do, And that's what I try to create. I'm not trying to use someone else's pull or push to push us towards anything,
Yeah.
Of course, I enjoy having the big names on here. Of course, I like having J Tips on here to talk to. I like having Matt Hatfield to talk to. Those are dope guests to have on. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that I feel like their stories are not being heard, and it kind of gets overlooked because all the other podcasts are going for the big names. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't get the opportunity to tell the stories. So
I just one thing that I think that I'd like us to be better with too is like keeping it focused on kicks. You know what I'm saying? And like, same thing with the other podcasts. Like, I want to listen to like, talk about Haas, man. Like, I want to know what sneakers people, what sneakers got people into like collecting sneakers. Like, I want to know that.
Yeah, that I mean, we've said it multiple times. Like, that's something that we wish we could have came up with. Like, and we're just too prideful to take it and be like, hey, what was the pair that got you into sneakers? Like, we literally run from that question. That's one of the questions we're not going to ask that.
We're not putting that on there.
We're not going to ask that question. Like, that's not going to be one of the questions. But it's interesting when you do have somebody like Beamer, like, what was his first pair? Like, what is the pair that got, what got him into sneakers? So when he has these guests, he has those big names on there. It is like, okay, and that's his lane, and that's what makes me like, let's create our own lane. And I feel like we do that by keeping a history within the podcast, or learning things that you don't know, or like, oh, I didn't ever know that, or giving the insights of Saucony doing this and doing that. Or just the insights or the background of people that you see every day, that you like in their pictures, you comment the fire emojis, but you don't know they have a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? So like that's those are the things that I feel like that's our lane. I feel like we're doing what everybody's doing, but we're definitely doing something different. I feel You guys chime in. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. I mean, I am always open to feedback. Like, I don't want anybody to ever think that, like, I'm too good for you to tell me, like, hey, Flexx, the last one, I didn't like this. Or, hey, Flexx. Now, what I am going to do is, like, if it works for us, I'm not changing it. Like, if our intro works for us, I'm not changing our intro. Like, I feel like our intro is part of Soul Brothers. Like, that is our brand now. That is like
the music.
Yeah, like nobody has anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has that. So when you hear that, Flexx Luther, like that is, you already know who you listen to. You know that is so.
It says our names.
Exactly. No, but nobody really has no intro like that. Everybody else has like the instrumentals and like nothing that's truly.
We got a theme song.
We got a theme song. We got an intro and an outro, and then welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flexx Luther, and none other than Morgan Sneaker Room. Like that is us. You know what I'm saying? Like that is our brand, and that's how I separate us from other podcasts, creating our own identity. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you already know what to expect. And I think when you see these other people, even if it's the same guest that you might have seen on these other sneaker podcasts, it's kind of like, wait a minute. I'm excited to see how that person interacts with Morgan or how that person interacts with Flexx. You know what I'm saying? So like, even though we're asking the questions, we're asking those sneaker questions. Also, we're still throwing the Soul Brothers, banter in there and how they're gonna, I feel like when people hop on our podcast, they're a little more comfortable. Even though we have those conversations, we have great conversation, we have deep conversations. We also have like conversations. It don't sound like a podcast. It sounds like a conversation that you're like listening in. Like, that was actually a good conversation to listen to.
Yeah, you seem really. It seems like that insinuation that there are too many podcasts kind of bothered you a little bit.
Nah, it don't bother me, but I just feel like sometimes we, within the sneaker space, we just start. I feel like we don't have nothing to complain about, and we find something to complain about. Like, like the leather's wrong, bro. I'm telling you, this is one of the hills that I'm willing to die on. When I still buy sneakers to this day, it never crossed my mind. I never looked at a shoe and was like, the leather. No, bro. If I got a creased pair of shoes, I'm just like, dang, got one of the defective ones. And I'm putting it back in the box and I'm gonna wear it, like I'm gonna get a force shield, I'm gonna get something to fix it, but it was never like I'm gonna go take this pair back and send it and hopefully I get another pair and then buy another pair to see if I get. Nah, bro, like like I got a pair of Bread Lowe's 13s, came crease, still got the same crease in there. It
is what it is.
Yeah, like it's all part of the game.
Yeah, like, I mean, one thing that I do look at and I do want to make sure is correct, or I'll give you an example: the Steel 10s. There are going to be going to be a lot of people who buy the Steel 10s, and even Jerry the Shoe God said, "Y'all complaining about the toe cap, but y'all still gonna buy the shoe." That's not true in my case. I'm not. I mean, I don't like the toe cap at all. I just think aesthetically it looks bad. And we've talked about the height of the patent leather. It's a topic that comes up a lot between us. And I think that aesthetically the Space Jams from 2009 look better than the Space Jams from 2016. Like, I just think they do. Even though the 2016 pair is supposed to be more true to the originals.
But I feel like for you, that makes sense. That's on brand for you because you nerd out about those things. Like, you literally start buying a whole nother brand because of the materials, because of the leather. That makes sense. But for me, it's always been about the shoes. Like, I like Air Jordan 11s. I don't care if the patent's low or high. I got Air Jordan 11 lows. I got IEs. Like, I have futures. Like, I like the silhouette. So anything that kind of pertains to that Air Jordan 11, I just grab. Like, I have the Gamma Blue 11s, and I think this year the patent leather is supposed to be higher. It doesn't make me like, oh man, I gotta have these because they're Air Jordan 11s. It's not because the patent leather is higher. I'm gonna wear them anyway.
Everybody who says they're not going to get it, except for me, of course, everybody who says they're not going to get it because of the height of the patent leather or whatever is a liar. They're getting it anyway. Especially
if they sit.
They're going to get them anyway.
Especially if you don't have them and this is your opportunity to get them. Like, Shut Up Bat Boys. They're saying that the leather is not going to be all this, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I don't have the Shut Up Bat Boys and I want the Shut Up Bat Boys. I'm getting them. I'm getting them. Don't buy them. I hope you let them sit. Because I'm going to grab them. I'm going to grab them. So instead of getting the jellyfish, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the Black Toe Reimagines. I'm going to get the UNC's Reimagined. I'm going to get Shadow Back Boys. All for under $300.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I see it.
I'll be getting the jelly toes. Or the jelly toes.
Jelly toes is crazy.
The jellyfish.
Jelly toes is crazy. But, you know, like, I just feel like there's a lot of... we do have productive conversations, but there's a lot of stuff just counterproductive. It's kind of just like redundant, irrelevant stuff that we just continue to talk about. You know, just like, okay, if you're not gonna do it, all right, let it go. We're not gonna do it. Cool. You know, kind of like with the Awake 5s. When I seen those, I said I liked those.
The Awake 5s?
A lot of people were like, "Oh, I don't like that." Yeah, the pink pair. They're like, oh, you know, I'm not wearing a pink 5. Or you see the logo on the side. They shouldn't have did that. And then as soon as they said those things are going to be limited, all of a sudden it's just like, gotta have those. Gotta have those. You know what? Those are kind of fire. It's the same shoe you seen a couple months ago. That's why now. But
this I mean, that's been going on for years, bro. Like as soon as something that says limited, bro, it's like, yeah. Like,
they actually do.
I mean, like a lot of those Travis Scott, a lot of those Travis Scott ones, right? Like the Phantom pair, right? Everybody says those are trash until release day came.
Yeah,
and they sold out in seconds.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But that leads us into our first listener questions of the Soul Brothers. All right, cool.
So we're trying to do, make our Discord more interactive with our listeners, and we want you guys to give us topics that you want to hear us talk about. And so we have a listener, and we're going to start doing listener questions. And this first one comes from Jimmy, who has been one of the most active people. Also known as Jay, who's been one of the most active people in our Discord. So go ahead. What was his question?
So Jimmy, also known as Jay, that's what he likes to go by on online. One thing that's been on my mind lately, since listener questions are going to be included on the pod, how can something meant to bring us together like sneakers still end up dividing us in so many ways? It's been tough seeing some of the energy online. I've been sitting with that a lot these last few days. And let's the question. The question is, how can something meant to bring us together like sneakers still divide us in so many ways? And that's kind of, maybe I'm not using this terminology right, but I feel like it's kind of like a loaded question, because I feel like anything can divide us. I mean, politics divide us every day. People's religion, food. So most of these things are supposed to bring us together, usually end up dividing us. And that's just because we have different opinions. Now, how we go about the division is the next thing. That's because we're never going to agree on things, and there is going to be division, but it's how we do it. We don't speak politics on this podcast, but just the current temperature within politics, Democrat, Republican, just how it's damn near like a gang now. And I don't remember it being like that just when I was younger, maybe because I wasn't into politics, and I really never paid it. I really never paid attention to it. But I'm gonna tell you, like, it was more secretive. Like, I'm not gonna bring that up because I know the division. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not gonna bring up who I voted for. Now it's just like, let me put it on my truck, let me put it on my car, let me put it on my water bottle, let me put it on my phone. You seen the little signs, Bush 20, what was it, 2000, whenever Bush ran. You've seen those signs, but like now it's a little different. Now you got the whole trolling at the gas station and here and there. Like, I feel like it's a little different. The temperature's a little different now. But again, I feel like we got to create what we want to see, and I feel like AD sneaks onto something because the way he's handling what just recently happened. I feel like that's just how we should go about it. And we should be able to have these conversations. We should be able to disagree. It's okay to disagree. I feel like people get passionate about sneakers, and we take it personal, because sneakers to certain people are personal. To me, it's personal when you talk about sneakers. Yeah. When we had the episode with Trevon, and I can't remember exactly how he said it. He said something about
he was like they're just shoes. They're just shoes, Flexx. They're just shoes, Flexx. It's
like, I'm like, nah, it's not. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not just sneakers. You know, because there are people that, I mean, look at 2J's. Their whole life is around sneakers. It's not just shoes, you know. You know, it's not just shoes. I mean, there are people that work hard for their collection. So when you do disagree, some people take that personal, you know. But if you disagree with me about sneakers, I'm not gonna be like, you don't know what you talk about. The Air Jordan 11 is the best. Like, I'm not gonna hate you because you hate the Air Jordan 11. Like, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think like that really happens. I don't think, but does that happen?
See, you're not on Twitter. People get
Twitter,
real.
Bro. Twitter is just such a nasty space, though, man. Like,
I mean, and that's what I'm saying.
You're right. Yes. So, I mean, I agree 100% with what you're saying. Like, sneakers are personal to me too, and you know, when I was on TikTok heavy, I would clap back at people if they disagreed with me, because I was like, I use sneakers to express myself, and so when people would criticize my sneakers, it felt like they were criticizing me. Like, that's like, if you criticize my taste in sneakers, it felt like you were criticizing me personally.
I get that. Yeah.
And, you know, is that right? Is that wrong? Well, no, it is what it is.
But I feel like now it's taken to another level. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of things people think that it's just about sneakers, and it's not. Like, you said something disrespectful in general. This ain't about sneakers anymore.
Yeah.
We were having a regular conversation, then you said some off the wall stuff, or you said something slick. That's no longer okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm no longer, I don't care what you wore today now, because you said something disrespectful. That's just me as a person. You're not going to say anything disrespectful to me. So we're not technically beefing over sneakers, or we're not having this disagreement over sneakers. It's because of what you said to me and how you said it. And I feel like that's what people kind of get, you know, it's like a blurred line type deal thing, because then you're thinking we're beefing up. No, we're not, you know.
I also want to say that that's a defense, or not even a defense mechanism, but like, people will say, oh yeah, you really gonna get mad over some sneakers, when it's not over some sneakers. It's about, like, exactly what you just said. It's like saying whatever you want, like saying something crazy to somebody and then just being like, oh well, it was a joke. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just that same type of thing.
And I mean, and that's really my issue when I see something, you know, and I hope people are not viewing, like, when I say something about something, or when I call somebody out, or when I respond to someone, it's not about like I literally have a problem with, you know, because I have people hit me up and, you know, like, yeah, we're good, bro. Like, it's just I'm literally having a conversation with another adult. Like, we can have conversations, and it's just simply like, this just me as a person. Like, that's how I do, you know, anybody. Like, that's how I do my brothers. Like, you can't sit here and tell me you're doing this, and then you doing that, but you're talking like that. That ain't what you said. I'm gonna call you out on it. I'm gonna ask you about it. Like, how you gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to end like, oh, I hate you. But nah, it's just gonna be like, they're gonna give me their response, and I'm like, oh, okay, I respect it.
It's because people use sneakers to express themselves, right? People use sneakers to express themselves, and so I don't think that it's wrong to feel that, okay, you're attacking my taste in sneakers, thus you're attacking me, right? I do think, though, that sometimes it's good to let's just touch some grass. It's not that deep.
But Jay, I hope they answer your question. I don't know if it will, but I hope it did. But let's get into the showcase.
Yeah, you was all over the place with that answer, man.
Sorry, most of that probably might get taken out. I don't know.
Yeah, you was all over the place with that one.
Yeah. But again, I'm focusing more on things that you may not know. I mean, pairs that you may not know or have not seen in a while. So
let's see what he got.
This was a pair I knew Morgan didn't have. So when we was in those TikTok trenches and we were battling, I had to pull out the 574 New Balance Sport. He does not have one of these guys.
That I don't have that colorway.
Oh, you have a 574 Sport?
Yeah, I have the Dover Street Market and Ronnie Fieg collab.
When did you get that? You didn't have that.
No, I got those on release. I did have them. I showed you I had them.
What year?
2016, 2017. I had them when we were going back and forth. I said, no, I don't have that colorway, but I do have this Dover Street Market collab with the interchangeable ends.
Anyways, Morgan might have these, but this is not your everyday sneaker.
No, that is an everyday sneaker. That is probably
oh my God,
2 for $40 at Finish Line.
Yeah, it was probably. I mean, no. I'm gonna be rich. I don't really see the 574 Sport a lot. I see a 574. Now, 574, you can get them.
Just say 574S, bro.
I'm gonna say Sport.
What does IE stand for with the Jordan 11?
Special edition or Sports edition?
IE stands for Special Edition.
Oh, International Edition.
So why don't you say Jordan 11 International Edition?
Because it's Sport is a whole lot shorter than International Edition.
But it's 574S, bro.
574 Sport. Anyways, mint colorway. I like these. Comfortable, breathable. Kind of reminds me of Nike Air Zoom Spirit Dunk.
Oh yeah. What you about to say?
The Nike Air Zoom Spirit Dunk Cage 2. I get those little vibes, but I like the shoe.
Yeah.
Bet you won't be able to
still got those.
I bet you won't be able to find this colorway. What you got, man? Go ahead and show your Air Max 90 pattern.
So I got Air Max 90 pattas. Some slight. The Wave.
Something slight. Heard that in a while.
Some slight.
Right on. Sleep over there.
Got these from the sneakers drop this week or last week. Try to get the green. 2.
How many colorways? 2.
Yeah, but I think there's gonna be more. I like the Air Max One Wave. I got the Monarch colorway. The Aqua, that blue colorway is real cool too. But this is the Sapphire colorway of these. They're real cool. The materials are pretty decent. They're not leather, like there's no leather or suede or anything like that on the shoe. Nice mesh. There's a thick mesh,
leather and mesh. The top toe cap.
This is mesh. This isn't. It's not even like. I mean, I can't tell what it is. It could be something. No, it's not even nubuck. It's closer to a leather than a nubuck as far as like the feeling goes.
Okay.
But it's really. I mean, it's a really, really clean, good-looking shoe. I like how on this side, how this window right here, if you go back and forth,
like it
goes fiber. From. No, it's not carbon fiber, but it like if you look at it one way, it says Air Max. If you look the other way, it says Pata. You probably can't see it from there, but that's kind of.
Me personally, I wish they would have kept the wave off of it.
That's kind of their thing.
Yeah, no, I know. I wish they would have kept it off the 90 Air Max 90. I feel like that could have been a nice, chill, subtle collaboration. Kind of, you would have kept that whole effect that you got the Air Max pattern, and then the pattern on the tongue.
That colorway without the waves is on Nike right now for like on sale for like $80-something.
Okay. You just named those 200 other collaborations from Nike.
Okay.
We also got the Travis Scott Cave already, but we're getting.
No, I'm telling you, like literally right now, like not hypothetically, like
I know
it's on, but like the wave. I like the wave. All I'm saying is like I like the wave, and the wave is what makes it different and cool. Bro, pull out your shoe again. Your 574 Sport.
You can't get this on the website right now. I can tell you that.
I can get it on eBay, bro.
Yeah,
we talking about how that was my biggest eBay steal.
500.
Yeah, right.
Check it out.
I will.
But yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. But I feel like they should just kept the wave. Like I feel like they just it kind of.
Did you like the Air Max 1s with the wave?
Mm-hmm, I did. I appreciate the wave on them.
I think it looked better on the Air Max 1, to be honest with you. Yeah, but I still think it looks good on those.
I want mine sitting on Air Max Plus, but I'm biased. I love that.
I know.
I love that silhouette.
That's a real Roadman shoe.
Say that.
It's gonna be U, Central C, and
what does that mean?
Roadman. Mm-hmm. It's like a gangster in England. Yeah.
Bruv. Kind of like got my Drake in the background. Like it. They like Drake over there?
I think they do.
Yeah, because he's got like a whole little bruv accent type deal thing going on. Cadence and everything. Kind of for the UK and his home country. Yeah.
Huh?
His cadence. Drake, his cadence.
His cadence.
Cadence to the UK and his home country.
Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
You thought I was saying that Drake was from UK?
Nah, bro. I couldn't figure out what you were saying, bro.
That would have been crazy. It's all right. Mo's a little dehydrated. He's not really comprehending things right now. So we're gonna close out the episode. Any closing remarks, my guy?
No, man. Thank you everybody who listened and joined the Discord.
I like it. Join Discord. I finally figure out how I'm going to do it. So every week when we drop the episode, Discord link will be there. So it expires every 7 days. We drop it every 7 days. So if the last week episode will not work, this week episode will work. If you listen to a week after, it will not work. Just use the link on the new episode.
They got it, man. I think they got it. We got smart listeners, bro. We got smart listeners.
Hey, man, go out there, be nice, man. As I always say, love, peace, and sneakers.
Peace.
So brothers, retro 7s, retro 3s, metallic 7, retro 11, sitting on freeze. They got so